So Dave Ziegler had a press conference today on 420. Happy 420 to those who celebrate. And it was a press conference on the draft, a pre-draft press conference. And when you don't have a first or second round pick, you get a lot of non-draft questions.
Yeah, right.
on a pre-draft press conference, right? I'm still trying to debate what we're going to do for our show next week on our pre-draft show when we don't have the first and second. We'll come with some good stuff, but it's a different type of show. And Dave Ziegler was asked about Davante Adams because OTA started last week. And, what's your first impressions about Davante Adams? And here's what Ziegler had to say.
Davante is a worker, and he comes in with a purpose every day to get better. And so, he's just a dialed in person. That's like, you walk in, right? And for him, this is something that he loves to do, but this is a business for him, and it's a job that he takes very seriously, and he comes in with that approach. I mean, this guy comes in with an approach to win the day and to get better individually, and it's an approach that I think is really good for our young players to see. This guy's highly accomplished. He's been very productive in his career. There's a reason for all those things, and you kind of see that in his approach day to day.
Now, that's the first time you saw that, right?
Yeah.
First time you heard that? Okay. Notice, there's a million people think oh, that's just coach speak. That's just GM speak. There's a million things you can say about the best receiver on your team. He didn't say he's an athletic specimen. Oh, I saw his catching balls and he'll never drop a pass. Oh, he's in sync with Derek Carr. Oh, I saw him in the weight room and he's just so strong. He could have said all those things. Instead, he said he's working his ass off. He's trying to win the day. He is who he is because of his work ethic. That sounds so much like a Patriot Way GM talking about a Patriot Way type player. And I feel like Davante Adams, obviously he fit perfectly with the Raiders because we needed an X receiver. We needed a number one receiver. Derek Carr and him jive. We had the cap space. We had the picks, all those reasons, right? There's a million reasons why Davante.
It's all lined up.
It's all lined up. But being that type of guy, because normally, oftentimes receivers, they're usually the divas of the team. And you kind of have to be, right? You don't have to be, but it kind of goes hand in hand. Give me the ball. I want the ball. Give me the ball. Give me. That's what you do as a receiver, right? Davante Adams, all hard work, all structure, all brain. Dave get better every single day. He's I think exactly what we can expect from Dave Ziegler and Josh McDaniels moving forward personnel-wise. Obviously not all going to be the best of the position, but guys wired that way, like Davante Adams, because that's A, the quote-unquote Patriot way that they're trying to replicate, and B, that's what this Raiders squad is. Mm-hmm. All our best guys are our hardest workers. Carr, Crosby, Renfro, Waller, Miller. Perryman. The leaders are the hard workers, the dialed-in dudes. And Davante Adams is the epitome of that.
Yeah, when your most accomplished player on your team is your most consistent, hardest worker, young players and even not young players, they look at that player and say, okay, he's as good as he is, he's maximizing his talent the way he is because of how he approaches every day. Mm-hmm. The word that I'm looking at, he's a professional. He looks at this as, this is my profession, and I need to work at my craft every single day. And I've gotten to where I've gotten in this career because I look at it like a job, and I have fun doing it. I enjoy it, but I have to work at it every single day. And the harder I work at it, the better I am at it. Mm-hmm. So if you want, it's better than you have just a super, and I'm not saying that he's not athletic, but a supernaturally gifted player who doesn't really have to work as hard and is still a supreme athlete and a supreme player because he's just that much better athletically. Mm-hmm. A younger player can look at him and well, he's doesn't work as hard as other people and he still balls out. Maybe I don't have to work quite as hard every single day. No, that's not the case with Davante Adams. Davante Adams, every single day I want to win this day. Every single day I'm going to be the hardest worker here, and that sets the tone for everybody else. It's a good thing to have your best player be your hardest worker.
John Gruden said that at one of his coaching symposiums, and again, We can talk about John Gruden all day long about his good, bad qualities as a coach, but he nailed it when he said, for you to succeed, for you to have a winning locker room and a winning culture, your best players have to be the hardest workers because they have to set the example. They have to be like, all right, this is what it takes to wear that C on your jersey, to go to the Pro Bowl, to be the highest paid guy, to be the one that leads meetings. You got to be busting your ass. And Davante Adams fits right into that. And that's the very delicate petri dish that is a NFL locker room, right? Because you've got so many egos, such a diverse group of people, the different backgrounds. Everyone's making different money. They all see things the different way from all over all parts of the country. It's so diverse. And to get them all to be rowing in the same direction in unison, that ain't easy. No. And so when you've got it nailed down and you've got it like the Raiders clearly did late last season when they beat all these teams they shouldn't have, you don't want to fuck that up. And so Davante Adams, if he was as same numbers, same skill set, still played with Carr, but was like an Antonio Brown type asshole, they don't make this move. No, they don't make this move at all.
No. Yeah, and it's interesting you brought up Gruden because every player in the NFL has to have an ego. You can't play this type of game, such a violent game, with such supreme athletes. Like we talk about, that guy runs a 5.6 or a 4.6. That guy runs a 4.3. You know what the difference between a 4.6 and a 4.3 is?
0.3.
It's
math genius.
Wow, no, I'm not talking about visually. It's not that much. It's very minuscule, right? But so when a mediocre athlete in the NFL is compared to the difference is so small between a supreme athlete in one sense and a mediocre athlete for your position, these guys are all supreme athletes, right? So you have to have an ego to be able to play this game effectively, especially when you're not guaranteed success, 100% of the time. So the difference with Gruden is his ego kind of bordered into the arrogance, right? And you don't get that from Davante Adams. He has the ego because you have to have a healthy ego to be able to play this game and to be able to know, I'm going to be able to beat this guy in front of me. But it's not arrogance because he still works really hard at it. He doesn't say, oh, well, I'm the best player here.
How do you channel your ego? Is it I'm the best, I don't have to do shit? Or I'm the best and I'm going to prove it at 5 a.m. in the morning at the Raiders facility? Right?
I'm going to make sure I stay the best as long as I can. Yeah. And that's the same thing with coaching and everything. Like how are you going to maximize the players on your team? How are you going to maximize their talents? You have to be able to coach them and be consistent and be smart and schematically be correct. And so it works everywhere in the NFL. Is you have to have that ego, but you also have to have that work ethic too.
This is why I think we're going to see, and again, we're all trying to figure out if Mick Ziegler, Josh McDaniels, and Dave Ziegler are going to be the Patriot way or their own way or somewhere in between or what it's going to be. It really feels like personnel-wise, they're doing it the Patriot way, where character, work ethic, these are like priorities. And they've said it. And again, they say it all the time, but almost all coaches say that. We want guys that stand for the shield, right? Every coach says that. But it feels like they're putting their money where their mouth is in that element, where it's going to be only high character guys on this team because we've got this perfect, they're mad scientists, right, with little beakers, and they're putting it all. And we've got this perfect mixture that is a great locker room. And we are not going to – our pH level is exactly 8.34291. And we're not going to let it deviate from that number because it's so rare to get.
Yeah, let me pull the curtain back on this fucking Patriot Way thing. The Patriot Way, just the freaking phrase, is total bullshit. It's just because it's with the Patriots. If you look at teams that are nothing like the Patriots, like for example, like that show that's going on right now on HBO, like Winning Time, right? The Showtime Lakers. They went out, they had fun, they partied, but Pat Riley was infamous for running some of the toughest practices in the NBA. Mm-hmm. Okay, you take a look at like a team.
That's why he slicked back his hair so he can be aerodynamic. Right?
So we look at like a team like the Detroit Pistons. They wore Raider gear. They were the bad boys. They're the bad guys. They had some of the toughest practices, and they worked the hardest out of any team in the NBA. So you can be professional, you can work hard at your craft and not be buttoned down and boring and tight-lipped like the Patriots are. You can still have fun and be loose, and it's just professionalism is all it is. It's just being a professional and looking at your craft like a professional does. And working at it every single day, being consistent, know what has to be done, hold yourselves accountable, hold those around you accountable. And that's all it is. It doesn't have to be like boring and buttoned down the way that Belichick, presents himself.
Congratulations for making it all the way to the end of our video. If you want Darren Waller to catch 20 touchdown passes next season and for Max Crosby to have 30 sacks, go ahead and subscribe and click the next video.